Sanbonan Bangani. So last time we spoke, I spoke about a model that I had developed over the years, which is called BEST. And I mentioned that the B in BEST stands for belief systems, and I spoke at length about belief systems and how they actually affect our money, money management skills. And I spoke about them being foundational, them being some memories that are captured somewhere in our subconscious mind. And we get surprised when we react in certain way, not realizing that they probably the things that our parents did actually instilled some certain beliefs and created a culture of managing money. And we said one of the things that we need to do is to try and meditate and think about those memories on how our parents used to manage money. If they are still alive, you can still look at the pattern and look at whether what they did are the things that you are continually to do, and if those things are working for you or not, so that you cannot be on autopilot. You can actually manage money the way, almost like determining your destiny instead of the sins of the father affecting you now. So in the model of BEST, the second element of it is E. So E stands for emotions, and I'd like to speak about a very interesting topic on the brain, which is called the limbic area of the brain. The limbic area of the brain is responsible largely for emotions, memories, and so forth and so forth. So for instance, the pleasure center is located in the limbic system, and another element that is called amygdala, which is responsible for the fear, is actually located in the limbic system as well. These are the things that we're actually not privy to. These are the things that we don't know. But the things that you actually do, the emotional reactions to money. For instance, when they tell you that you're actually going to get a raise, do you realize that 80% of the time you're actually making an emotional decision? When they say you're actually going to get a raise, maybe let's say of $1,000 in your salary, can you tell of those emotions that are actually going in your system? It's any emotion, because money is directly connected to the emotions, because your memory is already being stimulated. You are actually getting the pleasure. But for instance, if you get a call from a debt collector, what are the emotions that actually come to you? It's anxiety, because your memory stimulates those things that, oh, my things are going to be taken away. You've learned that people that get calls from debt collectors, they start threatening you. You start having some kind of fear. So those are the emotions that actually, and they can be good. Emotions help us to express affection. Emotions help us, for instance, fear. If there's danger, then emotions can actually help us. But emotions as well can be very, very dangerous in managing money, because of this pleasure, we live an Insta life. When I mean an Insta life, an Instagram life. So, research has actually shown that a lot of people actually go into depression because they post certain pictures, they buy expensive clothes. When they buy those clothes with the intention of putting them in social media and Instagram so that people can, like, and all of us probably want to be celebrities and to have a certain following so that we can be shared, so that people can celebrate us in some form. So that triggers that kind of consumption. And for instance, another research indicated that when people are probably not happy in their relationships, what do? They go and shop. They go and do some impulsive shopping to make them feel better, which is called therapy shopping. So therapy shopping is part of those emotions as well, because you are trying to satisfy a certain desire, a certain emotion that you are probably feeling deserted, you're feeling lonely, and you go to the shop and you buy, then you can feel the pleasure and you forget about that problem for a certain while. The certain pleasure center actually is responsible for the same kind of pleasure that we get when we smoke drugs, when we drink alcohol, and and when you are mating, if I may put it that way. So those are the emotions that we actually need to be aware of. Most of the emotions are actually coming up from the belief system. So the root cause would be the belief systems and the emotions that are linked to those belief systems, so that you're not surprised by yourself when you make certain decisions about money, that you're always, always getting into debt because of certain things that actually happening to you. Some people have just an attachment to entertainment. You will tell them, look, start cutting DSTV because it's definitely not working for you, but they get pleasure out of that. Start cutting some alcohol, but they get pleasure out of that. It's an emotional response to a financial problem. So take care of that and you'll be better off. We'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.